All right, so earlier in the season, I made the statement that there is an excellent Karn treasure map deck in this format somewhere. And we've tried Karn and treasure map in a variety of deck lists so far. We've tried Sultai, we've tried blue-white, we've tried blue-black, and now we're trying a red-white list. And this deck seems sweet. The upside to red-white is you have pretty good mana available to you. In addition to Karn being a win condition, we have kicked Fight with Fires that can end the game, and we have Banefire that can end the game. But other than that, we're on like 7x sweeper deck. My primary worry at a glance is that we don't have enough win conditions. That's a win condition on the board, but we have Rekindling Phoenix, Fire Song, and Sunspeaker, and some Adanto Vanguards on the board. Oh, we have Dawn of Hope too. Okay, we have Dawn of Hope as well. So let's dive into some games here and see how this goes. I like a lot of what this deck has going on in it, so hopefully it runs smoothly. This deck probably dumpsters most aggressive decks. The lack of Star Extinction in this list surprises me. Potentially, Star of Extinction is very good against green-black. So if we're playing and we run into green-black and we feel like we're struggling there, Star of Extinction is a great option to potentially make that matchup better. Why do we need History, Boneless? What problem do you envision this deck having that you're solving by adding History of Benelia to it? Oh, that's true. We did play Mono Black Banefire. That was also a Karn map deck. I forgot about that one. I'm gonna bottom that. I'm looking for a white source. I think we're finally getting to a point where we're playing against people who have cards on Arena. This is the second rare dual land we've played against in a row, which is nice. They did reset the MMR, so hopefully it doesn't take us too long of slogging through medium decks to hit reasonable ones again. MMR stands for matchmaking rating. It's a hidden number that is tracked by the computer to try and pair you against people who have similar win rate to you. Oh, that's true, Bulldozer. I forgot about that. Are they playing Thousand Year Storm? I think we're playing against Thousand Year Storm. This is probably an unwinnable matchup for us. Game one, maybe in general. It's definitely unwinnable game one if that's what they're playing. We just have like a bunch of cards. So I don't have a land to cast this, but like Karn giving them the beatdown is our best possible chance to win a matchup like this if they're a combo deck. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna scry for a land. Might as well. Even if I miss on the scry here, my treasures will let me play Karn out. Although I'd rather not crack all of my treasures because I'd really like to have more artifacts to like have my Karn tokens be larger. So let's do this. Make 4/4. There are a ton of awesome decks that you can find to play on my website. You can search by how competitive I think the decks are. You can search by archetype. You can search by key card. Lots of great tools there at jeffhoagland.com. They are, in fact, playing Thousand Year Storm. What's the easiest way to start and get a good amount of playable cards? The easiest way to get playable cards on Arena is with the most powerful card in Magic, the credit card.
It is best if you stop.
Good luck at F&M, DNN. We're so close to being able to... Oh, that makes my thing smaller. Yeah, we're probably dead. I don't think it really matters. Yeah, I'm saying credit cards should be banned. That is in fact my argument. Camel Fury, thank you for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. All right, do your thing. Scale of 1 to dead. Radical Idea is gonna power up real quick here. So I can flip this treasure map over next turn, and then I can use Cleansing Nova to kill their Thousand Year Storm. The problem is it kills all my stuff too. Am I dead to Lightning Strike here? I don't think so. You cannot F6 in this application. You also can't auto-yield the triggers. I'm dead to triple shock, though. So if they have a third shock, I am dead here. Alright, cut all these Magic the Gathering cards. I guess I'm leaving Banefire in, and I'm leaving Shock in. I kind of wish we had a 4th Ixalan's Binding. Why leave in Shock versus adding in Spyglass? What is Spyglass doing? What did my opponent do that game that makes you think I want Spyglass in my deck? Shock could end the game a turn sooner. You can name Thousand Year Storm with Spyglass. It's not going to do anything though. Thousand Year Storm is what's called a triggered ability, not an activated ability. So the difference between an activated ability and a triggered ability is activated abilities, you have a colon in their cost, whereas triggered abilities are something like Thousand Year Storm that say, when you do a thing, this other thing happens. Don't worry about it. It's very common confusion among newer Magic players. And that's how you tell the difference between the two. So activated, there's going to be a colon in the rules text somewhere. You pay this thing to have this thing happen. And triggered are you do this thing, then this thing happens. You had a link to copy deck list like a basement dream. If you click the Stream Decker button in the upper right-hand corner of the deck list on my website, it'll open the deck list on the Stream Decker page, which has a MTG Arena Thanks, Berts. I appreciate you being here, and thanks for the support. For the older players in the audience, if you want to hear the best pithing needle story and the best pithing needle story known to man, there's a player has a pithing needle, and his opponent's board has 2 polluted deltas and a dark confidant on it, and some other lands. And the player calls over the judge and goes, "Judge, can I pithing needle naming dark confidant?" And the judge goes, "Yes, you can pithing needle and name dark confidant." So the opponent casts pithing needle, and the guy's like, "Resolves." They're like, "All right, name your polluted deltas. Double stone rain you." It's good old time. Things that won't be possible in digital Magic. Things that won't be possible in digital Magic. Scumming people with pithing needle. That's not your story, Crater Dumb. That happened in the top 8 of an open. You think it's a positive or a negative that won't be possible in digital? I think that is a huge positive. And the biggest reason it's a positive is because I won't have to listen to people cry about how they got by their opponent outsmarting them. So this game here is kind of a good example of why playing control decks that aren't proactive is a little bit medium at times. Like, our opponent literally missed their first land on turn 1, but our deck just doesn't do anything for a long time with a lot of its hands, so like we don't have the ability to capitalize on them having stumbled. Is that angle shooting punishable? No, it's completely within the rules. Like, I don't understand. Hey, Ozzy Pants, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I don't understand why people differentiate a mistake from not knowing the rules and a mistake that's just like, you know, like if someone makes a bad block, nobody's like, they should be allowed to take that back, or we should punish my opponent because I made a bad block. People just go, oh, I messed up and I lost because I messed up. Whereas like when people talk about like things that are like, you mess up because you don't know the correct rules of the game, like that's the same thing in my opinion. You both of them resulted in you losing the game because you made a mistake. It feels slimy. I'm not gonna get into this argument now. I have very strong opinions about playing Magic by the rules. I'm weird. I like to play Magic by the rules. I did not watch any of the World Magic Cup. I recorded some offline content this morning, and then I had to take Jake to school.
Acting unwisely.
This is another starter deck matchup. I like almost feel bad playing against them with like my deck full of like rares and stuff, but like at the same time I like have to just play through these so I can get my matchmaking rating back up. Yeah, I know, Fancy Penguin. It just doesn't make for fantastic content. How long do you think until they stop being stupid and have ranked being best of one only? I don't know. Trying to predict what Wizards of the Coast is going to do is like an exercise in futility. The choices we make reveal who we are. What do we prioritize these Ixalan's bindings for, right? Where are we going with these? I mean, the Sky Scanner lets them draw cards, chat. I feel like, you know when there's in the movies and like the giant person is like holding the smaller person on the forehead and they're just like swinging their arms wildly at the larger individual? That's what this feels like. That's like, neener neener, I've got my cards and my treasure maps and all my other rare dual lands. Neener, neener, neener. We got paired like this because they reset everybody's MMR to 0 with the update yesterday. And I only played for 3 hours last night, an hour this morning, so it's still quite low. So, people were complaining about deck strength matchmaking that they were doing in parts of Arena, and I think I came up with the ideal solution. They should do deck strength matchmaking in Arena for everybody under a certain number of games played. Like, if you don't have an MMR, match based on deck strength to start to avoid things like this from happening. I think would be a really good solution. Like, obviously, I don't want deck strength matchmaking for forever, but like as a way to start to mitigate these kind of feel bads, because like this can't be fun for my opponent either, right? Like, it isn't particularly exciting for me beating them up, and I can't imagine it's particularly fun for them to lose to someone with much better cards. We wanted to replicate the paper magic experience. What a perfect way to end my year of viewing. Don't expect to catch much of the stream while in England. Happy 32 months and here's to many more. Go ahead and bump Grixis Phoenix. Will do, Marty. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. I declined to draw a card because I have to pay 2 mana to draw the card. Oh man, we should have Ixalan binding the Sky Scanner, chat. We should have gone after the Sky Scanner. They go, whoo, I'm glad I drew this Bite with Fire. I wasn't sure how we were gonna power through the Sky Scanner until we drew that one. Was uncertain, but we're figuring it out. Scan this.
How convenient.
Think a mono red Phoenix deck could be viable. Didn't a mono red Phoenix deck win a Grand Prix? I'm pretty sure a mono red Phoenix deck won a Grand Prix. Yeah, it was standard, right? Well, I guess there's two Phoenix decks, right? Which are we talking about? Are we talking about the Arclight Phoenix or the other Phoenix deck? Scry me a river, baby. Man, look at that. Look at that value.
Nothing is ever truly lost.
Gonna be awkward when they win. Our deck has 4 Deafening Clarions in it and 4 Cleansing Novas. I'm pretty certain we're gonna be okay. It really does win with Salt Delta, you're not wrong. Just mono sodium machine. Ah, the 3rd Sky Scanner! The 3rd Sky Scanner, chat! We've been bested. The Sky Scanners are coming. The scanners are coming. The scanners are coming. It's like a better crackling Drake. Return target creature to its owner's hand. If you control an artifact, draw a card. Sure. What on God's green earth was that? It's like the world's worst divination. All right, should I stop playing with my food? What do you think? Should I stop playing with my food?
Some solutions must be built.
Kill them, please. Yeah, old habits are hard to break through. I'm gonna bind the crap out of this Sky Scanner. I'm gonna binding the Sky Scanner first here to prove a point. I'll upgrade my sub if you concede to this guy. Call. Listen, we weren't learning anything from that match anyways. Our opponent is probably incredibly confused. This hand's great. Hope everyone's having a great start to your week, and I'm having a good time, okay? Regardless of how the MMR's going to start, I'm having a grand old Friday. Buy yourself a sandwich for that one. Thank you, Libba P. And thanks for using the charity hashtag. Remember, everybody, be sure any cheers that you make have the charity hashtag after them between now and December 27th. Man, how do you think our 4x Deafening Clarion deck is against the Rat Colony deck? What do you think? We have Ixalan's Binding in our deck too. We totally do. Death with the tier 2 resub. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Welcome back. Yeah, if you have 4 Rat Colony, you can add as many as you want to your deck. Bye, friends. Actually, I'm not going to scry with the treasure map. I'm going to draw an extra card here. And this way, if I miss a land drop in 2 draws, I can still Deafening Clarion. Be very quiet. We're hunting rat colonies. Be very quiet. All right, they didn't concede to the... This will be the ultimate test for how much do they value their time. Do they concede to Ixalan's Binding your rat colony? Signal Sal with the tier 2 upgrade. Thank you very much. Welcome. I appreciate it. A Magic player of their word. And Snarnock, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed this month. Welcome to everybody. I hope everyone's having a great start to your weekend. Hanging out, playing some Magic the Gathering here. I believe the rat deck plays Experimental Frenzy. All right, all right, we're done here. Good, check. Oh, look at that. The 7 main deck Wrath of God deck has 3 more Wrath of Gods in the sideboard. Just in case. So when you need some more Wrath of God with your Wrath of God, we've got some extra candidates. Need settle too, right? Turn 3 Clarion sounds good. What's going on, Immortal? Hope you're having a good Friday. Afternoon, Jack. Glad to see you had a safe trip back from SCG Con. Goodbye, my friends. Boop, boop. Just boop them on the nose. Go ahead and play Karn and start drawing some lands here. Why didn't they sign out the rat colonies? Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that, chat?
Retribution will be swift.
My retribution will be swift.
Action is needed.
Alright. Alright. Moving on up. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. There was still so much magic to be played. Bind him up. This Ixalan's binding card's OP. Makes the opponent concede every time. Unmoored Ego versus Rats doesn't do anything because Unmoored Ego only takes up to 4 copies of a card. Any favorite Nick Cage movies? Not offhand. I don't watch a ton of movies. We have like double Guildgate in our hand, but like the spells are reasonable. Perfect. I'm not playing ranked because I'm mostly a casual Magic player these days and I'm not good enough to play best of 1. Does your MMR improve without doing ranked? I have no idea. Alright, didn't get syncopated. It's good for us. I think I'm actually not going to... Okay, so... These stupid stops are killing me. Fine. I think I just diddle this just to get the counter on it. Been loving your content since the meter and SCG open days. Glad it can continue here in Cool Stuff Inc. Joe Fails Games, thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Thanks for shipping me your Bezo bucks this month. Thanks for keeping me employed here. So I'm not gonna play into, obviously I could try and binding the Search for Azcanta, but I really don't want to play into a potential counterspell here. Diddling's against the Twitch TOS. Field of Ruin is perfect. Would love to draw that. Handles the Search for Azcanta. Lets me save Ixalan's binding for something like Niv or Teferi. Not looking for a land. Am I interested in like drawing cards here? Maybe. I don't actually know at this point. I don't know what we're looking to do here just yet. Whoop. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, I'm just gonna burn a counterspell out of their hand here. How many games until Esper Amulet? About an hour. There is 1 copy of Banefire in our deck. That will hopefully come up at some point. We have more on our sideboard. Yep.
I know my responsibility.
They did up their tier. So next turn, I'm gonna kick Fight with Fire and do 5 and 5, expecting it to get countered. But I would much rather Ixalan's Binding get countered than Fight with Fire get countered. So I want to play the Ixalan's Binding second, because I want this one to try and resolve. Wow, that happened. Okay, I guess they're just like activating their Azcanta here. I guess by doing this, I don't get to Field of Ruin the Azcanta this turn, which means they're gonna get an extra activation out of it. So like they get to draw another card with the sequencing. Yes. They took my money, chat. They took my treasures away. They took my treasures. I mean, this Cleansing Nova's a 5 for 1. That seems like a good use of their. I mean, like 5 for 1's about as good as you get with that, right? That's about as good as it's gonna be.
The weight is killing me.
They did deliver on their sub upgrade. I'm gonna concede. We're very dead here. It's like sitting on a bunch of cards that don't have text boxes. This deck has very significant wrong half problem. Let's see if we can capitalize post board on having enough threats and stuff here. There isn't even an extra Banefire in our sideboard. That's a bit of a yikes. Yeah, I think I agree. Without a bunch of Banefires, we're just gonna have a real bad time in a matchup like this. When I see you do the fishy thing, Alex, thank you for the biddies. I appreciate it. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Happy to get that into the queue. The Fire Song should probably just be 2 more Banefires, if we're being completely honest with ourselves. Yeah, I agree with that too, Greaseball. I think if this deck wants any additional anti-creature cards in the sideboard, it probably wants Seal of Fate more than anything. We'll open this up in the deck editor after this match, and stupid. Oh, the stops are so... It's extra annoying that the stop is broken on my turn now, because, like, if I set this, it's gonna go away. That's how this works now. It's like it gets rid of it, because, like... I had intended to scry during my upkeep. And I would have hit a land. They left me Fountain of Renewal plus Dawn of Hope. That seems good for me. saying there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. If they want to tap out for a Planeswalker to like, wait, what? They binned Cleansing Nova? Oh, they don't have a land. Okay. Hey, Cough, thanks for the 4-month resub. I appreciate you shipping your Bezo bucks back this way again this month. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. All right, casual draw 3. Use the card advantage deck now, opponent. All right, all of these have drawn cards already here, so even if they hit Cleansing Nova at this point or the second white source for one, like we are in the clear. I mean, they're obviously struggling to hit lands, right? Roses are red, violets are blue. I forgot Jack Ryan bits, but here they are for you. Gunthor, thank you for the biddies and thanks for remembering to use the charity hashtag with that. I appreciate the support. All right, sweet. Am I binning? I think I'm binning a Fight with Fire here, right? Rude. That's fine. I think that thing drew a couple of cards already. We're gonna survive. Yeah, next turn I was probably gonna start making tokens, but unfortunately that's no longer an option.
I can no longer stand by and watch.
I can no longer stand by and watch. That is not my kink. Bind him up. Do 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 do. Bind him up, up. Bind him up, up. Do 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 do. You played any real matches of Magic today? I don't know what you mean by real matches. Please define. Yeah, I have no idea what to. Maybe they just have another way to kill Ixalan's binding here. Well, that's unfortunate. This is fine though, right? Like I have 2 more Ixalan's bindings in my hand, so I get to like binding it, they counter, and then I binding again because I have 8 lands next turn. We're banning about 75% for cards I own matches. Sabotage this. Watch us get Spell Pierce on like the Adrian Sullivan 1 Spell Pierce special. Ugh. No. At least that's our last binding, right? That's the last binding that we have, so I get to kick this Fight with Fire next turn. Unfortunately, it's going to get counterspelled, then I'm going to concede. Alright, when this doesn't resolve, I'm going to be done. Woof. All right. Let's adjust the sideboard of this deck. So so we can have a little bit more game against control. Like, this main deck is constructed in a way where it likely dumpsters aggro, and then for some reason there's a bunch more anti-aggro cards in the sideboard. So I think Spyglass is fine. Fire Song and Sunspeaker is kind of some nonsense. I think Cannonade's probably some nonsense. I'm not sure if I like these Adantos either. I definitely want at least 2 more Banefires in the sideboard. And I think what's the 3-mana goblin that makes the new not Rabblemaster, Legion War Boss? I think Legion War Boss is probably where I want to be in life. And then for a touch of extra anti-aggro, I'm going to put 2 Seal Aways in the sideboard, so that way I have another good removal spell against the Drake's deck. Let's do that. No guarantee that we run into another control deck, but if we do, we should hopefully be better positioned to fight against it with those changes. Seal of Fate, whatever that one is. Seal Away. Whatever this card is called. Come seal away with me. Do 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 do. Man, you know what I just realized? We've been playing Arena for almost 3 hours and it hasn't crashed yet today. We like almost always had a crash within 3 hours, right? I feel like this is the longest I've gone without a crash. And the reason, and like, while that's a compliment for Arena, the reason why I've realized that we haven't crashed for 3 hours is because it's starting to run kind of slowly because it's lagging from the memory leak. So the reason why I'm aware that we haven't crashed yet is because the application's starting to run slowly. Yay, magic! Yay! My opponent played blue-black lands. I'm gonna cut Deafening Clarion and bring in some threats, I guess. Yeah. After this match, I'll do a quick shill break and give it a restart. Kick it in the throat, if you would. Not that this would ever happen, but if you Ixalan's Binding a Jace Telepath Unbound, you can still cast Jace Vryn's Prodigy. Really? Is that how it works with Nicol Bolas too, then Wannabe Beetle? If you binding the Planeswalker Nicol Bolas, they can still cast the front side? They could be quasi-duplicate, which means if they are quasi-duplicate, my boarding my sweepers out could be really bad for me. But I did leave in a variety of spot removal, so hopefully if they're quasi-duplicate, we'll be okay. How am I supposed to know where I'm going, opponent? I don't have a map anymore. I've lost my way. I agree that doesn't sound right. I'd recommend conferring with your local judge. I was wrong. Never mind. I was joking with binding inbound. There's like playing their Karn into my Excellence binding here. Yeah, Grixis Shadow is great. Very, very reasonable. Magic the Gathering deck. So if they choose not to block here, I get to kill the Karn with the shock. And they know about the shock because they thought erasured me, so that trade there makes sense. Maybe it's right to shock their token and then hit Karn for 1. I can see that being the case.
Good choice.
Take the card that doesn't beat my Legion War boss. Wrap. I'm just not gonna risk it. Let's just like wrap that one up. Mentor your student. The student and the teacher together shall become one and end Karn. Why do some cards say each opponent is there a kind of team format in Magic? Magic has multiplayer formats in addition to team formats in paper. I don't think digital will ever support those formats in Magic Arena, but in paper there are multiplayer formats. Mostly played casually. None of the multiplayer formats are competitive outlets for Magic. Trying to predict what Wizards of the Coast is going to do with their banned list is like throwing darts at a dartboard. You never know what they're going to do. Alright, I would like 1 land, please.
Must not. Are you certain of your decision?
Wow! Karn's broken, chat. Karn's supposed to read +1 draw a land. Loose. Poor Karn. Karn will get to down tick and draw Dawn of Hope next turn. That's unfortunate.
Our actual patience is rewarded.
Alright, so hit you down to 8 here. Grixis Shadow sees some amount of play. Blue-Black Shadow basically sees no play. Man, I wonder how many sweet animations are hiding in this game just because they're on like unplayable Magic cards. How many awesome animations are on unplayable Magic cards?
That choice.
All right. How are we doing, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening, everyone. TGIF. Thanks for dropping in. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I am a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. We play pretty much nothing but constructed Magic on this channel. We play a ton of standard here on Magic Arena. We also play some modern and legacy and other things on Magic the Gathering online. If you are enjoying my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I love what I do here, but I wouldn't be here day in and day out without the support of all my wonderful subs. By subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Harry's Razors will love to help you get that close, clean shave using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/Shugel Shave. You could save $5 on your brand new starter kit with them. Cardsphere.com will love to help you turn your cards into other cards direct to the players. There's no haggling, and they just take 1% fee off of the top. InkedGaming.com will love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepads, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of custom artwork that they have on their website. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch and the internet in general right now, and I appreciate you choosing to spend part of your day here with us. This wonderful red-white card list, like many that actually play on the stream, is a viewer-submitted deck list. So if you're interested in getting your stuff played on stream at some point in the future, be sure to check out bit.ly/HoogleSellout. Yeah, my advertisers pay extra because it goes through ad block. It's quality stuff. Look at these incredibly castable spells. An entire hand full of incredibly castable Magic the Gathering spells. Alright, it's castable one. Alright, so are they playing Jeskai or is it a mirror? Sweet. Again, the world's slowest evolving wilds. Oh, geez. I should have fielded right away, because now they're going to have a mana to scry with that they wouldn't have had before. Hopefully we draw land to get to binding this treasure map. Woof. Ugh. Just gonna do this as opposed to something else because this is resource efficient. This is a red-white Ruinous Blast deck. Okay, that's good to know. Makes our Ixalan's bindings a bit less good. Although I guess Ruinous Blast is pretty bad if I can keep all their legends off the table, right? They discarded Squee the Immortal. Well, that makes it a smidge harder to keep the legends off the table. You cannot cast Squee under Ixalan's binding, right? Ixalan's binding keeps Squee gone now.
I'll make use of that later.
Once upon a time, you could Squee while he was bound, but you can't do that anymore, I'm pretty sure. Correct, it is cast from the graveyard. You may cast Squee from your graveyard or exile.
Well chosen.
I think I'm gonna let Squee... It's possible I'm supposed to have down-ticked Karn there and just like gotten rid of these. I guess I could just Field of Rune the treasure cove. Yeah, this seems fine. Let's just do this. I'll just like Justice Strike this because otherwise it's otherwise I have to discard. Might as well. I'll just Clarion. Clarion, my wayward son. There'll be a clean board when you are gone. Do 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 do. Be do 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 do.
choice.
Bind him up. He's in jail. Bind him up, up. Bind him up, up. Wait. Why did Squee go over there? Well, shoot. That's such a disappointing animation. It is kind of unreal how disappointing that animation is. There wasn't even a sound effect. It's like, what is going on?
Action is needed.
Punch him in the throat. Punch him in the throat. Alright, what do we got going on over here? I've got a land, I've got a cleansing nova. I'm gonna plus this.
The choices we make reveal who we are.
Doesn't give trample, right? Just makes it bigger. So this lets me scry plus block here. Oh, I guess if I hadn't played this, I could block plus pay 2 when I draw a card to gain a life. Yeah, that's better. I shouldn't have cast this. I should have just played this Sacred Foundry tapped and then made a token, blocked, and then paid an extra to draw a card. So rather than scrying, I could be plus 2 life and just drawing a card here. It's a fight with fire and exile, right? So I'm gonna like down tick, grab fight with fire, 10 them, untap 10 them. I hit the land. I needed to hit the land for that to work.
Your patience is rewarded.
Your patience is rewarded. Squee is large and in charge, chap. He's been hitting the gym. Thick boy. Thick boy. Lifted a lot of skulls or whatever that is, right? Ruh-roh, Raggy. Whew. All right, things were a little touch and go there for a second, but we figured it out. Exile the Blade? No, you want to exile the Squee. No, they just can't cast the Squee.
You may regret that choice.
Why do I care about the equipment? Bind the map so they get lost. Yeah, that did change serious business because it was unintuitive. This is a good change in my opinion. Rules that are unintuitive should be worked to be made different, so they make sense to people. Strike it down. Alright, so Spyglass answers their blade technically. Banefire doesn't seem particularly useful. I guess Clarion doesn't seem particularly useful. Banefire is probably better than that. Phoenix probably isn't terrible. It's probably better than the Sweeper. Gosh, could you imagine if Karn just got any card from exile? Hey, Jay Sizzle, thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Hey, Demo, thanks for the 2 months re-upping. Welcome back. Sub count is slowly recovering from the 5-day trip. Renew my youth! Renew my youth! How much real money does it take to be competitive in this game if you don't want to grind the cards? The number I have heard from most people is that about 100 USD gets you basically any stock tier 1 deck. It's probably even cheaper than that if you don't want a sideboard, if you're just playing best of 1. So I think I'm supposed to decline this Dawn of Hope draw because I need to draw a untapped land so I can Banefire this. All right, that kind of works too. I can name Blackblade Reforged with this. Yeah, depending on, like, so the thing you have to understand about Arena is that the cost of your decks are determined not by chase cards in it the way the economy system works. The cost of the decks are determined by how many rares and mythics are in the decks, basically. So, like, all rares and all mythics basically cost the same. Oh, I can't kill that anymore. All right, we're dead. Right. Do I want Cleansing Nova? Maybe. Maybe Nova's better than Banefire, just like as a cleanup mechanic. When I play the opponent's deck for a donation, yeah, if someone wanted to reverse engineer what they're doing, that'd probably be a fine submission. As always, final say is after you submit the deck through the queue, so use the submission form. That's how I vet things. Fountain of Renewal into Dawn of Hope, sign me up. Start drawing cards. Fountain of Renewal into Dawn of Hope into removal spells. Sounds great. Now we just have to start drawing 2 cards a turn. We have to pay 2 mana to do it, obviously, but still worth. I don't have anything going on, so might as well get some card advantage going here. And now I could play 2 2-mana spells this turn, but I think I'd rather just keep drawing 2 cards here. I'm gonna go ahead and plan to Justice Strike this Lannery. I'm gonna go ahead and Justice Strike this now. Because remember, Shalai is gonna give Captain Lannery or Hexproof otherwise. Am I okay drawing a card here? I think so. Hey, Full Metal, thanks for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. I'm here to support your YouTube content and Prime sub. Oh, no, I'm all out of Prime subs. What's going on? Thanks for supporting me here. Those Prime subs help keep the YouTube content coming. Alright, so I probably just need to Binding the Blade at this point, right? Alright, hitting my land here is good. Hey, Dogie, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. I appreciate that. So, glad I boarded Cleansing Nova back in. It's definitely a card I'm looking for at this point. This is fine. I think I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to go ahead and draw an extra card here. Nice. It takes a while to run out of Mythic Wild cards, to be fair. I play a lot of, let's call them interesting decks on this stream, and I've only just barely run out of Mythic Wild cards.
An excellent choice.
If they hit their sweeper at some point here, we're going to be in a lot of trouble, because their sweeper will get rid of all of these things. Alright, so I really need to hit a Cleansing Nova here. I think I'm gonna scry during the upkeep. Oh yeah, I guess they can kill Karn here, huh? Oh, thank you for catching the stops disappearing. I'm probably gonna miss that a lot.
My retribution will be. Please stop.
Please stop. Please stop. Poor Karn. Poor Karn. Man, Justice Strike is pretty embarrassing against Shalai. Alright, with their powers combined, however, we can beat her down. Maybe I'm supposed to just, like, get the Fountain of Renewal down here to just, like, keep buffering my health total. But at the same time, I kind of want to just, like, get my maps flipped over. Yeah, the stops disappearing is definitely a bug. Down to 11 here. Get my scry on. I think I'm actually just gonna keep that. So if I do this. Construct.
Must not be tolerated. Some solutions must be built.
Some solutions must be built. I mean, they have things like sweepers in their deck. Like they showed us, we saw Deafening Clarion with a what's it called last game? A Sorcerous Spyglass. Wonder if we're gonna see them Ruinous Blast here. Ruinous Blast probably kills us. Like not actually dead this turn, but pretty close to dead. Gets them the Black Blade back too. It's hiding here underneath the Ixalan's binding. Woof. So I'm gonna do this in response here.
If you please stop.
Please stop. I hope they had the ability to auto yield to some triggers this application at some point. All right, so I have 5, 6, 7. This will be 8. So, and then 9 over here. So I'm gonna we're definitely kicking Fight with Fire this turn, right? Just like clean the board up. I've watched probably 24 of your arena videos on YouTube. Happy to catch you live. Well, welcome to a live one, David. Good to have you here. It's a good reminder for everybody, if you're watching now and you can't always catch my live schedule, which you can find on my website. My YouTube channel archives pretty much everything that I stream here, and I also do some original videos up there as well that aren't streamed live. Just youtube.com/FOG. You can also find that all well organized on my website. They're like dead on board now, right? You have to like hit them down to 7. I guess they're technically not dead on board because the Squee is going to get on the way. Oh, they're at 7 too. This is 6. Close. We're close. They're close to dead. They're only mostly dead. So I'm actually going to go ahead and burn a treasure to scry at end of turn here. And the reason for this is this puts the second counter on here, so I'll be able to flip this next turn. So it actually nets me artifacts in play to do it this way. It felt really bad against Jeskai, but against things with creatures, it's pretty reasonable. Like, basically the question you have to ask yourself, like, is Deafening Clarion and all of your removal spells live? And if they are, you're probably going to have a good time, and if they're not, you're probably going to die. Oh, I tapped my treasure cove. Definitely should not have tapped my treasure cove there. I'm not playing out any more maps because if my opponent hits Ruinous Blast, I want to make sure I'm not dead to that. Same mistake on my part, though. Tapping my treasure cove. Definitely wanted to draw an extra card at the end of my turn here. This is going to be our last match here with the red-white Karn deck, and then we're going to move on to some Esper Amulet, which is a fan favorite, also a favorite of mine. Went 11-1 with the mono black Banefire deck. Nice. I like that deck a lot too. There's so many sweet things in this format. I might actually play Banefire against the Banefire deck again tonight. The last deck in the docket for this evening is Jeskai Control that I put in there with dealer's choice points, but maybe mono black Banefire would be more fun. That's lethal, right? It's gonna let me strike this. Yeah, I glanced at the list, Whitman. They announced it while I was streaming, so I haven't fully digested the announcement yet. It looks pretty reasonable. I'm gonna kill Squee here too for good measure. How long am I gonna be live for tonight? A while. I'm planning to do like 3 or 4 more decks after this one. Boop. Sweet. Yeah, so to give a short wrap on what this deck has going on, I think this seems pretty reasonable against decks that have creatures in it. Believe it or not, we've got 7 sweepers in the main. The one thing that I would really want to be sure on if I was working on playing this deck more in against a variety of matchups is I would want to make sure this sideboard plan here with like Legion War Boss, Rekindling Phoenix, and Tocatli on our guard is like good enough for the matches where being a control deck isn't good. So like against Jeskai control, for instance, all of our removal spells are bad, which makes the deck kind of awkward, right? It like gives us a lot of dead cards in it.